Oh, it kicked me back in, so it's perfect time, I guess. Welcome back, guys. Backhaul here with the VNL 670. Let me change up my instrument cluster here, and that's one more. There we go. That works. And did put the wrench to this thing, and it didn't turn out half bad. Got the stretched chassis on this thing. Cummins N14 600, my normal engine of choice, is what's underneath the hood. Now, before I make this turn, let me stop right here and go over this truck here for a second, because there's a couple of little things you guys should keep in mind. Now, with this truck, you do have an option for lights right beneath that top step right there. See that insert, that plastic insert? It goes underneath that top step all the way over here to the back. You can put lights there, but when you're in the workshop and you're putting all your accessories on, you have to be on this side. And you'll see an option bubble show up way over here on that left side, right by that left light and that left step. You'll see an option bubble show up, and it'll show up for both sides, both this right side and the left side. You have to be over here, though. If you're over here, you're not going to see them. Other downside is I've got the LED light pack lights on here. They do not work for that upper set of lights. That's why I don't have anything there. You're stuck with stock lights, and that's it. So keep that in mind. If you want to add more lights to it, you're going to have to find the spot for it in the first place, which is on the passenger side, and you're only going to be stuck with the stock lights. These LED lights on the visor here, that is an option. The lights you cannot change. I wish they were just a little bit brighter, but not going to happen. So that was pretty much it. The stretch chassis, you get no options to fill in anything here. I probably should have went with no valance, no side skirt, but I didn't even think about it at the time, to be quite honest. I was focused on, just other things. And got the full moon hubcap covers on there, Peterbilt Alcoa rims, and Bridgestone rubber is what I'm rolling on. So that is pretty much it. I think it looks kind of sexy. That's just me, though. I'm the one that made it. Of course I'm going to think that. So, let's get this show on the road. Hauling a load of sand to Sand Rifle to Cat. Don't know if it's a work site or if it's a shop, but either way, they're getting a load of sand. Ah, this engine sounds great. Alright, so what's going on, everyone? Did you download this truck? If you don't have it already, did you pull it back out to go ahead and see how well it is? I mean, this is, although you're stuck with just one cab, it is a very, very, very nice truck. Very nice, very awesome. Wish there were more cab options. I have seen photos of people working on different cab options. I don't know if that was an RDeath thing or, if this is a different truck that is currently being worked on. But some teaser photos have been posted out there, and, I'm not a fan of teaser photos, especially when people like to go and spam them all over the place. But, at least it's nice to see what is being worked on. It gives everyone an idea of what is being worked on. So, as long as it's not overdone, I can live with it, and I'm sure many others can live with it as well. Hit the brakes. Yeah, I just noticed the lines are gone here, too. See, I'm probably gonna have to go into my MP profile and drive around on single player here just to see maybe there's something that's missing, because where are the lines? No lines. So it makes me wonder. I mean, I have no map mods here, no graphics mods either. So, see, I'm out far enough to make him stop, but not enough to trip any, red light violation. How much do we weigh? Because I got the speed pretty damn quick. 41,000 pounds. I cry bullshit. Bullshit. Let's see. 12 hours to do the job. I'll be there in just under 8. So good timing, good timing. Then again, I could be wrong. Maybe they don't have lines like that. I know it's not everywhere you go. The markings, the road markings are going to be different. I've seen in California. There's many areas where I've seen it on photos and TV for California. I'm sure it's in other areas, but the areas I've been to, not too many times am I going to see the speed limit written or painted on the road. I don't see that too often. I've only seen it maybe once or twice here in my travels around the Midwest, Illinois and Iowa and Wisconsin. I haven't seen it too often. But there's been times where I've seen movies or TV or video of areas like California where it's the speed limit is written on the pavement for everyone to see. So I know road markings are going to be different depending on where you're at. And I think that's one thing a lot of people forget, is they're used to their neck of the woods. They're used to what they see or what they have seen, and they think that's the norm, and anything else is wrong. And that's not right. I've seen people blast others because of a trailer, the Kozad pack, for example. Oh, that's not a real trailer pack. Yeah, well, just because it's not in your little neck of the woods doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Not everyone has the Maximizer trailers like this one. That doesn't mean they don't exist. No one says anything, though, because they're cool. Just because you don't see it. I mean, the log trailers, for example. A few months ago I pulled... why are we on the brakes here like a bunch of peckerwood jackasses? A few months ago I pulled a log trailer. It was an oversized log trailer, actually. I said, I didn't sit here and say cry. I didn't cry bullshit or anything. I simply asked, is this normal? We don't have this here in Illinois. I've seen log trailers, but nothing to that extent. Some of the local tree cutting companies will have pup trailers and things like that, but so rather than sit there and cry and complain about it, hey, let me know, guys, is this legit? So some people, kudos to those who don't fly off the handle at shit and actually leave an open mind to it. And as to those that want to sit there and, oh, it's not real, that's garbage, yeah, get real. Open up your mind a little bit. It doesn't hurt. Really, it doesn't. I'll have to compare this truck, though, frame rate wise to the Peterbilts, because I've heard a lot of people complain about the Tam and the Viper Peterbilts that it kills their frame rate. And looking at mine right now, I'm holding steady at 60. So I think there is some legitimacy there, because the Tam 389 I'll bounce between 40 and 60, maybe 35 and 60, depending on where I'm at. Now, granted, I'm way out here in the middle of nowhere. I do have some traffic here, so you know, the more stuff that the system has to generate, the more strain and stress it's going to put on the system and video card to incorporate those items. So, if all this traffic was gone and it was just me and the open road and the scenery, the frame rate would probably be a little better Game Boy wise, but if I were to pick myself up and drop myself in the middle of Bakersfield with high traffic, or Vegas with high traffic, and it seems like a lot of people have problems with Vegas, but you know, my frame rate would be lower because there's more that has to be generated, there's more going on there that the system has to account for. So graphics settings as well makes a difference. Too many times people try to think they can run on high and ultra when really they should be doing like medium and ultra. Let's, you know, be real about your systems, guys. So we get to go through the new interchange here. I haven't used it yet. I've gone over it and I've gone under it when I was on 80, but be interesting to see what it looks like here as soon as this stupid bus gets the hell out of my way. Am I getting off here? No. Getting off here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Kiss the curb a little bit. Scrape some bugs off. Yeah, I should have stopped, but oh well. Bigger. Little surprise, they're once again back to the small off ramps or on ramps. I think that is still one area that many road engineers, when they decide to make new roads or rebuild roads or make interchanges, you know, they really don't put much effort into. I know there's other reasons sometimes, you know, project cost, environmental, or other aspects that, you know, just warrant not being able to extend an off-ramp or extend a lane or something like that. For example, over here in the south suburbs of Chicago on Interstate 80, there's an interchange, or 80 is now 3 lanes in for the most part along the south suburbs until you get to New Lenox, just past I-355. There it goes from 3 lanes down to 2, and the left lane is what disappears. The thing that I have always said is stupid and idiotic is just 200 yards past the end of the left lane, you have an exit, a very busy exit for US 30 for New Lenox. And always, that drop down is a major spot for congestion. You know, the typical idiot that wants to fly up the left-hand lane thinking he can go ahead and jump over 1 or 2 cars, and then he cuts someone else off and causes everyone an accordion effect and, you know, that kind of crap. And that's what happens here. People just hang out there, no one pays attention, and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, look, there's a lane disappearing. I guess I need to get over. It would have just been better, in my opinion, to extend all 3 lanes, an extra 200 yards, 250 yards, 300 yards, whatever, to extend it that far, and then use the right lane as an exit lane. Or, I mean, they've got plenty of room. They could have made a 4th lane, what have you, whatever, It tried to manage traffic a little bit better, and in my opinion, they completely failed. So it's things like that where you could have used that 3rd lane for an exit lane, which people are going to be using anyway. But no, let's go ahead and stop short and cause a traffic headache. It's just, what were you thinking? Why? But, it's either they don't think about that stuff. Scale time. It's either they don't think about that stuff, or, maybe there were some issues that kept them from being able to do that. Cost, or, okay, we can't build here because, it'll endanger some swamp fly, or, the terrain isn't suitable. Things like that. And believe me, yes, I got busted for speeding on the ramp. £80,000 and 700 over that. Well, they might let me slide. I've been 300 over on my front axle, and they've let me slide with that. It just happened to be one of those days where the scale decided to be open. My mistake. Should have stayed on 65 up to 80. No, let's take the shortcut. Let's do US 24 over to 57. Or over to 17, because I knew the scales on 57 were going to be open. So me and the driver, the semi guy behind me, okay, no, let's take this way. We'll go 24 over to 17 and take 17 north up to 45. Or not 17, 24 over to 45. US 24 to US 25, and let's take that up. And I just 24 to 45. Felt like I said 25, but anyway. To avoid the scale on 57. And I knew it was a crapshoot whether or not... Oh, we're back in the California, so that means... I slow down a little bit. That means I knew the scale house on 24. It was a crapshoot whether it was going to be open or not. And it's a one-pad scale house. So traffic from both sides, you have to share the same pad. And I went across, and I was 300 over on the front. But with my city truck that I was driving, the route truck, there wasn't much I could do. It was a single axle, 26-foot box, 33 feet long truck, and he's like, "What you got?" And I was like, "Well, I've got about 60 drums of, I think it was like vegetable oil or something like that, or it was eggs or something. I don't know. It was from Soleil, and they make food product, I think. But anyway, I had about all that on there, and I don't remember how much I was tipping the scales at, but it usually you're 300 over on the front. Have a good one. Oh, okay. You're letting me go. Cool. So, what is it on the front axles? 12,000 you can be. So he wasn't going to make a big deal over that. But the other time when I was with the new recruit that we had I was training, stopped at Hellman's in Cicero, Illinois, and that was the one where we picked up egg whites or something like that. It was basically an oil byproduct of eggs, and that one I was over by about 2,000 pounds on the rear. I already had an idea of how much they weighed, but we weren't too sure. It was just an average, what do you think, this and that, because they didn't have a scale there. and had about 8 feet left on the back of the truck. And I was like, "Yep, I think we're about there." "Oh, no, we got space. Let's add more on it. You know, that we don't have to come back." No, let's play it safe. I don't need to get, you know, nailed. No, we can do it. We can. All right, fine. I should have said no, but no. What do? Okay, I let him talk me into it. Sure as shit, pull across the scale on 80. Oh, pull it around back. You're parked. 1,500 or 2,000, something like that, over on the rear. Son of a bitch. Wasn't gonna let me slide for that one, even though we were 5 minutes away from the shop. And the sucky part is I had to get that shit off in the next 45 minutes. I had to get myself underweight because they were done at I think it was 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that. They were done. Their shift was over, and there wasn't another shift coming in. So once they were done, they were shutting down the house. So he said, you know, you gotta get this cleared up, otherwise you're not getting your license back, and the truck ain't going nowhere. You know, they were holding that hostage. So, because I paid the fine, a couple grand, but they weren't letting me go anywhere. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. So, owner's son had to come out with the spare truck, and we threw off those 8 drums that were overweight, that put me over on the weight, and got me back. Owner wasn't too pleased. I said, "Yep, it's completely my fault. I let him talk me into it." You know, the guy was all apologetic. You know, hey, we had the space. I wanted to utilize it. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I understand that, but you know, we got weights we have to adhere to." I know my truck max weight was 33,000. Yeah, 33, 32. I don't know why 36,000 is popping in my head, but that probably was that was probably what I was weighing, 35, 36. Which was close to what I usually weighed every day when I'd go out and service my Jiffy. Ooh, that was too much. Service my Jiffy Lubes and dealerships and shit. Come back, tipping the scale around 29,000, 30,000 pounds. Used to wheel that all on by hand. Used oil filters do not. They're not light, I'll put it that way. Average weight of a can was 500 pounds. So if you guys take your garbage out and you think, "Oh man, this is heavy," you know, maybe it's got a little bit of water on the bottom because someone left the lid open while it was raining. You're lucky if that thing weighs 100 pounds. Try moving 21 of them a day that weighed, on average, 500. I've got photos, I don't know if I've posted them here in the videos, of some of these cans that weighed over 700 pounds. Let's see, what was the heaviest was a Honda. They used to crush their filters. Now, Hondas aren't all that big in the first place, the filters. But they used to crush them to get all the oil out of them. And so, oh, not yet. What would be... 2 Honda filters would be about the size of a pop can. Maybe a little bit taller than the can. But, you know, how big the can is and everything, that's a pretty good spot-on thing right there. So... you crush them, and they go from, you know, being that, you know, half the height of a pop can to, maybe the thickness of your finger, or maybe the thickness of your thumb. You know, we're talking 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch thick. So, normally a Honda... Normally a Honda or Toyota, mainly Honda, they're 700 pounds or so. You crush them, you essentially double the weight. So we're talking 1,300 pounds on a can that says it can only hold 250. But moving those, oh my god. Luckily, I only had 2 places that did that. And one of them I was finally able to talk out of. They asked their maintenance guy, how much oil do we get? And he was like, we're lucky if we get 55 gallons a couple of months. Because the oil, when they crush them, they got a little tube, it feeds into a 55-gallon drum. So they're like, you know what, screw it. I mean, they stopped doing it, so saved myself on that one. But those are the ones where safety reasons, you know, even though, yeah, I could push 1,300 pounds on those things, safety reasons, though, yeah, you don't do it. You go there when the can's half full. It's a little bit more of a pain in the ass to work with because it's all bottom weight, and you're trying to counter that. And me being a guy of 6'3", 260 pounds, you know, it's still a pain in the ass to try to counter a can that has, you know, 700 pounds on the bottom. You know, that's still a pain in the ass, but you know, you guys get the point. But yeah, I would, that was pretty much the gist of my day if I wasn't out picking up drums of soil samples or tank bottoms. And the drum drops were a bitch too. Those would weigh on average around 800-900 pounds. 1,200 pounds was not uncommon because it's all dirt, heavy wet sand, concrete. Because when they do a tank pull, if a tank is leaking or if it's an old gas station, they can't leave the fuel tanks down there forever. They have to pull them out, and that's not a cheap process, so usually it's not something that happens right away. But they you know, usually they do some remediation, so they got to pull a lot of the dirt out of there, and so anything they do from the job, you know, they have to dispose of. They just can't throw it away. And so that's where I would go in and pick up these drums, 20, 30, 40 at a time, depending on how much they had to do, that are full of sand and dirt and gravel and concrete, and you name it. And that would be a workout, because usually it's also a construction site, so the ground isn't all that great. You know, it's chewed up, it's gravel everywhere, and so you're wheeling. Hey, new intersection too. How about that? This is awesome. Yeah, you're wheeling something that weighs, you know, close to 1,000 pounds, if not over, and you're taking it through gravel and broken concrete. That's a workout in its own. Not only the weight, but trying to maneuver through this minefield of crap. No, don't you stop, you son of a bitch. Come on, dude. Yeah, see, that GMC almost slammed right into your ass. Why is the UPS guy stopping? Oh, you're stopping back there, so screw you. I do miss those days, though, because that was one hell of a freaking workout. No. I get nothing. There we go. Oh, I just had it. Just had it. There we go. Alright, guys. Sorry for the rambling on everything, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. Not something I normally try to do when I'm on backhaul here. I try to talk about the truck, show off the truck, and that you guys enjoy the sights and sounds of a wild creation that I try to do. But, yeah, there we go. A little bit about me as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. And I will see you guys soon for another run. So until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy.